Hi, I'm Joe Alton, MD, also known as Dr. Bones of doomandbloom.net, where you'll find 1,000 articles, podcasts, and videos on medical preparedness. I'm also the New York Times and Amazon bestselling co-author of the 2017 Book Excellence Award winner in medicine, The Survival Medicine Handbook, now in its 700-page third edition. Even with today's modern technology, few of us can avoid the occasional respiratory infection. Colds and flus are spread by viral particles, and the organisms that cause these infections can live for up to 48 hours on common household surfaces such as kitchen counters and doorknobs. Contagious viral particles can easily travel 4 to 6 feet when a person sneezes. So cover your mouth, preferably with a tissue, but at least your arm, not your hand, and stay away from people who are sick. The common cold is, well, the most common infectious disease in humans. The average adult may get 2 to 4 colds a year, while the average child may get as many as 6 to 8. Wow. The typical flu is caused by one of a number of influenza A and B viruses, while the common cold can be caused by any of more than 200 bugs, mostly in the rhino virus family. Rhino is Greek for nose. Influenza outbreaks have included everything from the swine flu, with 18,000 deaths in 2009-2010, to the Spanish flu, with 50 to 100 million deaths in the pandemic of 1918 to 1919. Now, usually deaths from the flu are caused not by the virus itself, but a secondary infection by bacteria, which takes advantage of a weakened immune system to colonize the lungs and cause life-threatening disease. So how can you tell the difference between a cold and a flu? Well, one way is the onset of the illness. Now, the flu comes on suddenly, while cold symptoms tend to arrive more gradually. That's why people sometimes say you came down with a cold, but you were hit with the flu. Now, it's fair to say that the flu is worse than a cold, but it's more than just the severity of the symptoms. Colds often start off with a vague sore throat, which morphs into mostly nasal symptoms like stuffy or runny nose, followed by coughing for a week or more. Fever is uncommon in adults, but you might see it in kids. You might notice a headache. Now, with the flu, a number of symptoms might arrive abruptly and last more than 2 weeks. Now, with the flu, there's not a lot of you might notice this or you might notice that. It gets bad in a hurry. The length of the illness is also different in most cases. Colds will go away in a week or so, but it's not uncommon for people to be sick with the flu, really sick, for 2 weeks or more. It's even longer when a secondary bacterial pneumonia sets in. This will show itself usually as a patient who just isn't getting better over time, or whose fever comes back, or other symptoms, worsen after a period of time getting better. Now, more of this in a future video. Some cold symptoms may actually be related to an allergy rather than a virus. In these cases, expect to see things like watery red eyes without fever, or perhaps wheezing when you listen with a stethoscope. Now, you won't see a lot of eye issues with colds or flus. Now, don't forget to have lots of decongestants, pain relievers, fever reducers, those kinds of things in your survival medicine cabinet. And I've talked a lot about antibiotics on this channel, but they won't help against colds or flus. They're viral, and antibiotics treat bacteria. Now, they might help in cases of pneumonia, but these are relatively rare with the flu in otherwise healthy people. Now, despite this, 1 in 3 people visiting their doctor this year for a cold or flu will leave the office with a prescription for an antibiotic, a medicine that does absolutely nothing to treat a virus. This is Joe Alton, MD, that old Dr. Bones, wishing you the best of health in good times or bad. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you need a solid medical kit for that wilderness hike, hunting trip, or even long-term survival, check out Nurse Amy's entire line at store.doomandbloom.net. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.